His suicide note was only 3 pages, handwritten, but there is a manifesto in there, an anti-capitalist, anti-corporation manifesto. Shane Tamura, the killer who gunned down 4 people this week in a Manhattan office building, was no Luigi Mangione in terms of intellect, so there weren't pages and pages of notebooks filled with obsessive thoughts. But the messaging in their vicious crimes is strikingly similar. Mangione reportedly suffers from a congenital defect of the vertebrae. Nobody's fault. He was born with it. He feared becoming paralyzed and murdered the CEO of the largest health insurance company, United Healthcare, although Mangione was insured by Aetna. Now, the victim, Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, was targeted because he was a symbol of the industry. Similarly, Tamura asserted, it's not been shown yet, asserted in his suicide note that he suffered from CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which is caused by repeated head trauma and causes aggressive behavior, mood disorders, and cognitive decline. CTE impacts many professional athletes, especially in football, hockey, and boxing. Investigators believe he targeted the offices of the NFL, which are located in the building, 345 Park Avenue. In the suicide note, Tamura presents himself as a victim of the NFL who suffered from CTE, but he never played in the NFL, like Mangione, who had no direct connection to United Healthcare. Tamura did play football in high school, but his coach was interviewed and said Tamura never suffered a head injury. There seems to be no connection to the intended corporate target, the NFL. Now, similar to Mangione, they were fame seekers. They wanted to strike terror in the largest number of people, so they struck at targets that symbolize corporations and capitalism, which, by the way, have fueled the freest society on planet Earth, the United States of America. Bob Costas was interviewed about the tragedy, and he said the idea that Tamura had a genuine grievance against the NFL is ridiculous. He says CTE and football go hand in hand. The NFL is doing what it can to make the sport less dangerous, but they'll never get rid of CTE unless they get rid of professional football. Most people understand this. It's a trade-off. That's why athletes have short careers in the NFL, and they get paid so much. Now here's Tamura sauntering across the plaza toward 345 Park Avenue, openly carrying. He intended to cause fear and grab attention. Just minutes later, he walked into the lobby of the building and opened fire. Were the corporations, United Healthcare and the NFL, responsible for Mangione's condition or Tamura's alleged head injury? No, of course not. But many folks have gone on social media to praise Mangione and to bash United Healthcare. Now, those folks haven't had a good experience with the health insurance system, no question about that. There's even a legal defense fund set up by irate individuals who want to help Mangione beat the charges. He won't. He murdered an individual to send a message that was intended to bring down the system, and now the system will have its retribution. Mangione and Tamura killed innocent people and justified their actions with anti-capitalist rhetoric that's become popular with the Democratic Party, which won elections by fomenting class warfare and falsely asserting that there is no financial mobility in America. Now that's false. If we work at a job, if we use our God-given gifts, we can move ahead. And if we create jobs that allow our fellow human beings to prosper by using their God-given gifts, we can move even farther ahead. That's the system. But the Democratic Party is drifting farther and farther away from the system toward outright communism. Zohran Mamdani, for example, Democratic nominee for mayor of New York City, made a video a couple of years ago asserting he wants to seize the means of production. That's communist ideology. Artificial price controls, that's part of it. For some smaller businesses, it could deprive them of funding even to continue paying employees, deprive them of working capital. I've talked about Stephen Colbert in a previous video. His show was canceled because it was losing $40 to $50 million per year, and yet some folks are asserting he should be subsidized by CBS Paramount and allowed to continue his show. Now, that type of thinking would bring down the network. It would violate the network's obligations to employees of divisions that are profitable as well. Operating without an adequate amount of capital places so many people at risk. Viewers and advertisers are abandoning Colbert, yet left-wing folks are saying he should be subsidized by the network, even though he's not disabled. He's not ill or elderly and not hindered by any artificially imposed condition either. The anti-capitalist rhetoric of ideologues like Mamdani, Colbert, and the rest is a power play. They want power and they want to be subsidized. The financial mismanagement is part and parcel of the ideology. For example, Mamdani has said there should be no billionaires, although billionaires create jobs. I believe it's no coincidence that the murders committed by Mangione and Tamura occurred in New York City. It's the financial capital of the world. They both had mental health problems, but folks like Mamdani and Colbert, they're different. They don't suffer from mental health issues, and yet because they were failing in the system, they want to bring down the system. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.